Hello, YouTubers! Okay, this is a new topic for my first official real vlog with good audio. I'm actually I turned off the low cut filter just to see what would happen. So, this topic is about short riders. If you are a new rider, you're looking to get into motorcycling, or maybe you're thinking about a bike and you're a short rider, this is for you. Or maybe you're a short prospective rider. It's a nice Mini Cooper. If you're a tall chap or lady, then this is not for you in particular, but feel free to listen and you might learn a thing or two. As some of you know, I am a short arse to be more polite. I'm about 5'3", and when I was looking to get into riding, just figuring out which bike to get was a daunting prospect. I did a lot of research, sat on a lot of bikes, and I came from a scooter background, so with scooters there's really no issue. You pretty much hop on and go because it's a step-through design, meaning you can step through that frame which has a cutout. On a bike it's different. Bikes are a lot heavier, they're a lot faster of course, and the thought of stopping and not being able to hold up the bike or not being able to flat foot, as a lot of people want to do, is intimidating. So the first thing to know, I'm going to go a different direction here. The first thing to know is you don't need to flat foot. Even if you're short, you only need to get one foot on the ground comfortably. Now, in the MSF training, which you should all take, the MSF training teaches you to put your left foot down, and that's pretty much all you need, although there's rare situations when your right foot is better, depending on the camber of the road and all that stuff, and if you're about to make a right turn. So you really only need one foot. However, do you want a flat foot? Yes, that's probably better if you want to ever back up your bike up a hill, like a slight incline, or if you want to be stable in gravel or uneven terrain. Or even when a road has a crown, like the middle part is higher, it can be tricky even if you're experienced, based on where you put your feet. But experienced riders know where to put their feet. So I'll cover some of that, some of my own experiences with being a shorty pants and looking for bikes. So first thing is take the MSF course. If you take that, a lot of the fears that you have will go away because you'll be experienced, and that's for the rank beginner, of course. As far as bikes go, I recommend starting with something smaller, easier to foot. Just because there's a lot of reasons. One, the power concern. You don't want to have a ton of power when you're starting out, and you won't be able to use it till you get some experience anyway. And even then you won't be able to use a lot of that power. So some good bikes for starting out are the Ninja EX 250, also known as the Baby Ninja, and that's Kawasaki. That's a good bike. It's been a great bike for years because it's really small, it's very narrow, it's got a low seat height, which is slightly increased in the past years, but it started out at about 29.5 inches. Now the seat height is around 30-ish, maybe 30.5 inches. Still very easy to foot, and by foot I mean get your feet on the ground. And the lightweight makes it very unintimidating. However, that lightweight can be an issue if you're in a really windy area, or if you're a very heavy rider. So check out the Ninja 250, sit on it. The other great bike, which I've personally ridden a lot, and by the way, I've owned a Ninja 250. I owned a 99 model. Where the hell am I going? Let's see. Now you can see how terrible I am at U-turns. I guess that was okay, but not nearly as good as it could be. So what else? So I've owned a Ninja 250. The SV650 is good, although it's discontinued. There's the naked model and the faired model. The faired model is the SV650S. That's a good bike. One thing I did on the SV, which I owned as well, I owned the SV650S, is I shaved down the seat. And I was the first one in my local area to do this by going to Angelo's Upholstery, at least the first one in the SV community that I know of. And I basically shared that vendor with everybody, and everyone started going to him in my area. Mainly because he did such a good job and he got really good at it, and he knew pretty much what we were looking for. But the main reason you lose footing on a bike, there's two things: the height of the bike and the width of the seat, in combination with your own shorty pants height. So a bike might seem to have a tall seat height and specs, and may not be very tall because it has a narrow waist. A good example of this is the Yamaha R1, and I own the 2005 version. The reason I like this so much, one of the many reasons, is because it had a very low seat height, or it was very narrow at the waist, and it was very easy to foot. Super forgiving bike to ride, and it's actually shorter in effect than the Yamaha R6, because the Yamaha R6 at the time when I bought my R1 did not have that narrow waspish waist. Another great bike is the Kawasaki 650R. The 650R is a new bike from Kawasaki, and it's been out a few years. They've worked out the bugs. They've improved it quite a bit, and it is it's kind of like, it's got a pretty upright seating position. It's got a nice bar width and pretty low to the ground. Very, very easy for the shorter rider to deal with. So that is highly recommended. I rode one of those when I helped break in a friend's Ninja, and was pretty impressed by it. It's a calmer sport bike, and some of you might like that, especially newer riders. It's got a nice power curve, so that comes highly recommended. The bikes I found to be very tall were the Triumph 675, Daytona 675. Anything by Triumph seems to be super tall. Hondas seem to be very wide at the seat, making them effectively very tall. This includes the CBR 600RR. Now that may be changed for 2012. The version I rode in Hawaii was a 2007-ish, which was very, very tall. The R6 has historically been very tall, and that's because it didn't have the waspish waist that the R1 had. That may be changed now. So the best thing to do is sit on a bike and then ride it if you can. Let's see, for shorter riders, this is one of the best known secrets for shorter riders. Boots. You can get boots which have a little insole in them, and this insole gives you more distance toward the ground. And the boot for this is the M-Star, also the Lady Star, by Hutterite. Now Hutterite is just the distributor. The actual manufacturer is Frey Daytona. They're handmade in Germany, and Frey Daytona is the company that makes these boots. The only difference between the M-Star and the Lady Star is the sizing. The Lady Star, these are European sizes. The Lady Star goes up to about 39, and I think that's around a 7.5, because I wear a 38 and I wear a size 7, male. And the M-Star are bigger sizes above that. So it's exact same boot. Phew, it smells like crap around here. They just add gender for some reason at certain sizes. So that boot is super recommended for any shorter rider. Definitely check it out. It's sold exclusively by Hutterite, which is the owner is Helmut and his wife Linda and Moto, so Hutterite, and they are a nice helmets from Austria, and they're very nice. You can even get those boots custom made if you want. I had some custom made for my my Z custom leather spacesuit. and it's kind of cool. They charge a little bit more for that. My front tire feels weird, so I'm taking it easy. So yeah, check out that boot. Of course, you might want to try it on, but you'd have to go to San Jose to try out the boot at their actual location. Actually, they move into Fremont. So what else for short riders? That's about it. So check all that stuff out, and just know that once you get some experience, you don't actually need to have 2 feet on the ground. A lot of that comes down to throttle control and knowing that 1 foot is really all you need to balance a bike. Picking up a bike, well, there's techniques to do that, even if you feel like that you're weak, or there's a lot of techniques used by women, in particular, picking up gold wings, so there's all kinds of videos online for that stuff. And it is more challenging for a shorter rider. There was one time on my R1, I was coming out of my garage, and there's sort of a rain ditch, and I made the mistake of slowing down and stopping on that rain ditch. And where was my footing? There was no footing. It was just air. What happened? I dropped my bike. So yes, you can drop your bike. Some people say you will drop your bike, and that's probably true. But there's more ways to drop your bike if you're a short rider, and there's some funny lists online about that too. With shorter riders, you got to be careful how you park and where you park, because if you park on, let's say you park on a slight decline and you need to back out, well, that's going to be tough. What I usually do is I just move my bike around and get it where I want it, hop on and go. Gravel can present a problem. I don't recommend ever backing up a bike on gravel if you're short. Get off the bike, walk it where you want to go, and there you go. Get going. It can look funny sometimes in parking lots, and I'm like walking my bike around just trying to point it in the right direction, especially if I can't back it up. And what else? So yeah, I mentioned upholstery. You can always reshape a seat to take some of the foam out and make it easier for you to touch down. That's always a possibility. Like I said, Angelo's Upholstery in North Hollywood has done a great job for me in the past when I went to him with my SV seat, and he's done countless seats by now. But I'm sure any upholstery near you could figure it out. You can also buy aftermarket seats like Sargent, Corbin. There's a few seat makers out there that will make a seat tailored for the shorter rider and with some comfort intact. Sargent would be my preferred seat. But I'm fine with Franken seats. I ride a stock GSX-R 750 with a stock seat now, and I have no problem with it. But then again, the GSX-Rs are very narrow at the waist, so they're highly recommended by me. They're very small bikes these days. I really love the Gixxer. The Gixxer fits me so well. And I've been through a few bikes. I've had the R1, as you know, scooters, Gixxer 600, 750. They feel about the same. I've ridden the R6, which is tall as hell. I've ridden the CBR 600RR. The Ninja 250, of course, is great. A little too light though. So here's my experience with lightness. I don't weigh much. I'm about 150. And when you're on a light bike like the Ninja 250, It's amazing until you hit an area that's very windy. I was going up this freeway overpass near the 57, on the 57 near Anaheim, and I got hit with a gust of wind that actually made my rear tire chirp because it actually moved, and that scared the crap out of me. So yeah, I prefer the heavier 600s and 750s. Well, 750 singular. Claudia, you're not going to go to college. What are you doing, Wesley? You burnt the barn down. I'm trying to perfect my Hutterite accent. Wesley, give me that saw. We're going to build a new barn. The elders are going to be pissed. They're going to be pissed, Wesley. So there you go, Hutterite. I love that show, man. The Hutterites. Freaking awesome. Because, you know, they're so genuine. They're just like these people that they're not really on the internet and Facebook and kind of locked in time, and yet they're sort of hip too. I mean, they know stuff. They're hardworking, self-sustaining little colony over there. I'm joining them. Just kidding. Claudia. Then I'd have to speak in that weird accent, see? And that's what I'm worried about. I gotta learn that accent. Claudia, what are you doing? Give me your books. You don't need to learn English school. The elders are going to be angry. Claudia. Claudia. I just want to say Claudia. Just like your mom does. Anyway. So what else about short riders? So I guess being a short arse on a bike, you always have to deal with it. But eventually it just becomes second nature, and you're just like, yeah, there's a hump. There's a crown road. I gotta make sure I step on the crown, not the dip. Coming to a stop. Can I back out of this space? Gravel is pretty bad. Gravel's the worst. Not that I ride in gravel too much on a sport bike. Wesley. What else? Check out those boots. Oh yeah, let's see, gloves. So gear is hard to find if you're a short arse. Obviously you can't just go to the local Dynessa dealer and say, I give it by a suit. Nope, you gotta figure out what the hell fits you. Certain manufacturers make stuff that's small family, especially European manufacturers, like Dynessa. So first thing I recommend, get a custom suit. Don't even bother shopping for leathers if you're under like 5'5" or so. If you're under 5'3", forget it. There's no such thing as the kids section for leatherware, not really. So what I recommend, go to a place like Z Custom Leathers in Huntington Beach or Helimot in Northern California, or Bates Leathers, wherever you want to go, and get measured. Fitted, measured, get a suit made. The upside of that, well, there's many upsides. The downside is cost. The upside is everything else. It'll fit. If you crash, everything lines up. You can design your own designs, which is pretty cool. You can pick your own colors at the very least. So I recommend that heartily. And the cost is really not much more than you'd spend for a quality off-the-rack suit. Boots. I already mentioned the M-Star Lady Star, and you can have those custom made, different colors. It'll take longer though. It's like a 6 to 8 week lag time. They're all handmade in Germany. And the Germans will not be rushed. Will not be rushed. What else? They do good work though. For gloves, if you're a guy, it can be difficult to find gloves that are small. because almost nobody wants to list extra small gloves for whatever reason, even though it doesn't take as much fabric, leather, or textile. But they are out there. Dynessa, for instance, does make extra small gloves, and I have some. They're the Pro Carbons. So check out a retailer like Revzilla for some of those. I like Revzilla because they have videos and really great shipping policies and all that good stuff. And you get your cash back there, Claudia. Helmets are easy. I mean, you got a head, it'll fit something. Helmets have a very wide range of sizes. I am a long oval head shape, so I am an awry profile or signet head. That's what I wear. With the awry. With a lot of helmets, you got to try them on. Wear them for like 15 minutes, see if there's any pressure spots, and just get it right, because there's nothing more distracting than gear that doesn't fit, especially a helmet that creates pressure on your noggin. And sometimes you want to even go a little bit smaller because the foam will break in a bit. Don't forget it, Wesley. What else? So we got leathers, helmets, boots, gloves. Pretty much covers it. You may want to change the windscreen based on where the wind hits you if you're a shorter rider. Now, you may have an ability to use the stock windscreen just by dint of being shorter. Ooh, my bike's hot right now. But I like the Puig Sport windscreen, which is like a double bubble design. That puts the wind nicely over my head. Some people may not like the way it looks, maybe not quite as sporting, but I think it looks amazing. Ooh, I smell smoke. Yeah. People are smoking ahead of me, I don't stay behind them very long. All I smell is bad judgment. So that covers it. The biggest thing is the bike, obviously, literally. Once you get the bike solid, everything else solves itself. Gloves can be tricky, but I mentioned, let's see, who else makes small gloves? If you like textile, you want to hurt the little baby cows and little animals, check out Field Shear. Field Shear has a nice range of sizes for textile gloves. But I wear leather, because leather is awesome. And I hate baby animals. Just kidding. I love them, I just don't like having skin rubbed off when I'm crashing. Which is hopefully never, ever. Let's see, what other leather glove makers make small gloves? Joe Rocket used to make a pretty decent glove, which is like a female size medium, which is no different from the male glove, except a lot of manufacturers are stuck on the small is female, big is male. Even though that's generally true, there haven't been a lot of options. So, but it's getting better. Dynessa is an Italian brand, and they're freaking awesome. I've had really good experience with custom leather. When I crashed my black suit on the 405, I actually had them make me a NASA suit, sort of a white EVA replica, which I talked about in other videos, but I basically designed it after the EVA suit, and they did a great job. I sent it back for some minor edits, just for design work. And I'm happy with it, man. I wouldn't even bother to get a suit off the rack anymore. Not for a second. Plus you want to get something that you're going to wear because it fits. I mean, if it doesn't fit, it's going to suck. especially when you're doing something like riding motorcycles. I mean, you don't want to be distracted by anything. Even making vlogs, haha. Okay, Beamer, you've talked about it. Now let's say you do it. Make the turn, make the turn. Holy crap, Maul, it's like you never turned in your life. I'm making the slowest turn ever. My nose is itchy. Get out of here. What are you doing, Wesley? I'm gonna itch my nose. Nothing more funny than a motorcyclist sticking his fingers up in his helmet trying to itch his nose. Everyone thinks he's doing something else. Why did my accent change? I don't know. Okay. What the Sam hell's going on? Come on, K-Cow. Take some footage of me on the bike. I got you on camera. You can get me on camera, okay? Alright, Mr. Moving Truck. Thought he was trying to move over. He kind of had that vibe. Claudia, give me your books. Got my little helmet chin, my face shield vents open. But it's still hot. It's been like 105 degrees, 104 degrees. So it's been hot. It's almost as hot as freaking Phoenix. Which is almost as hot as the 8th layer of hell. The 8th level. What are you doing, dude? See, now this road has some variations in it. You see this right tire track here is a little, has a little dip in it. And it's crowned on the other side, on each side. But it's not too bad. It's funny when you catch people looking at you. What the hell are you looking at, guy? What in Sam hell? Alright, FedEx, you slow poke. That's one problem, you get stuck behind a slow driver. Everyone like zips around you like Speed Racer. And they think it's you! No, I'm just kidding. And you can't see around the truck, and you're like, where do I go? That's how you do it. My name's Lane Blade. Gotta get my bike some fresh air. Beatboxing for the win. Oh yeah. I would go in the right lane, except I know how terrible it is. It's got like these crazy ass things going on. Jumps and ramps and bumps. Right there. Ready? Boom. Boom. Another one. Another one bites the dust. So yeah, shorter riders. Here's an advantage, and I talked about this already, is you have a lot of room once you're actually on the bike. So while the taller riders have their knees in their teeth in their helmets, you shorty pantses, you have a lot of room. we can relax. Even on a Super Sport, you're like, ah yes, comfortable, Shangri-La. And the taller riders like, then when you get to the gravel road, the tall riders are like, ah yes, luxury at its finest, stability like a tripod. And you're like, so that's how it is. I prefer the shorter option. To be frank, I'm not Frank, so don't call me Frank. I know, that's an old joke. So there you have it. So there it is. Alright, YouTube, it's been real. It's been fun.